What's causing a dad drought in Sydney? All the single mothers. I mean, babies. Check this shit out, guys. All the single babies made front page of the Daily Telegraph on Saturday. What kind of bullshit is that? Let me get on to reading this for you. 1 in 10 IVF clinics at New South Wales clinics are single women who have decided they don't need a man to become a mother. They just need a man's sperm. An analysis by the Saturday Telegraph has revealed surging numbers of unattached young women choosing to have a baby on their own via sperm donation. At Sydney-based Demeter Fertility, they account for 10% of IVF treatment cycles, up from none 10 years ago and 8% at IVF Australia. Social demographers say single women having children without a male partner are emerging as an entire demographic group in their own right. It comes as women are increasingly giving up waiting for the right partner to come along, instead choosing to go it alone with the support of their families. And I quote, finding Mr. Right has also become more difficult. Maybe women are becoming more choosy. Maybe. Or men are not committing themselves in the same way they did in the past. Well, there's also reasons for that, hence MGTOW. For those of you guys have been following me and who know what MGTOW is all about, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. Said Fertility Society of Australia President Michael Chapman, mother of 2 Amanda, is among the growing number of single women to have gone through IVF. I think there's less stigma around single parenting, so people aren't expected now to get married to have a family. Now, I'm going to go to the full report on pages 12 to 13, but I want you guys to watch a couple of videos first. Check this crap out.
Finding the ideal partner to begin a family can be elusive, and rather than wait or waste years, many women are now embracing single motherhood. New figures show fertility clinics have seen a significant rise in women deciding to go it alone, undertaking IVF treatment using donor sperm.
Once socially unacceptable, now the new norm. Single motherhood, IVF and donor sperm. Women combining all 3 to achieve their dream.
I wasn't willing to compromise and end up with someone just for the sake of being with someone.
Of course you weren't.
So I started to look into doing it on my own.
So at 37, Susan took the plunge, and in May this year, little Fox was born.
Our families are all made up so differently these days. As long as your family's got lots of love in it, and we're very focused on that.
And she's not the only one. Fertility clinics have reported a spike in single women wanting to use donor sperm.
Many of them make the decision, well, having a baby was always part of my plan, so if the guy's not there, I'm just going to go and have that baby.
5% of those who go to Sydney's Janaea are single women. Those numbers have doubled over the last 5 years. They make up 10% at Demeter Fertility, while at IVF Australia, there's been an increase of 8%, up 2% from 2014. Experts believe the increase is due to a number of factors.
Check this out.
Biological clocks ticking, women are sick of waiting for...
Look at the fake lips on this. She's probably gone to get IVF herself. I wonder why.
the right person to come along, and this man, once attached to being a single mother, is no there.
And you do it all again? I would do it all again, yeah.
Leonie Ryan, 7 News.
Now, the first question I want to ask, guys, is who the hell calls their kid Fox? Seriously, for Fox's sake. See what I did there? But, like, honestly, you don't call your kid Fox. That's just a stupid thing to do, and he's going to cop shit at school, and then he's going to end up being a social outcast when he's older, and you're going to be like, where did I go wrong? First of all, you didn't have a kid in your 20s. Second of all, you called your kid Foxed. And third of all, where do I start? And on top of this article, on top of that video on my Twitter that I got sent from someone on the 7 News Twitter feed, you've now got the Today Show. Notice how I'm not logged into Facebook? Get off social media, guys. It's bad for you. You're not imagining it, ladies. There is a definite shortage of Aussie men, they say. Oh, now, let me just turn the brightness up for this because it's a little dark. This chick... Right, look at the woman who's calling herself a relationship expert, and listen to it as well. This will blow your mind.
We confirm the number of women across the country outweighs the number of men. This is serious. It is. More is relationship expert Melissa Ferrari. Melissa, good to have you on again.
Hello.
Look, the dating game is hard, and then you put this pressure on people. How do
Check out
relationships
Melissa,
find this out?
relationship
Well,
expert.
they've done some surveys and they found out that
Of course
there
you
is
are.
98.5 women to 100 men. And so they're
Wait, 98.5 women to 100 men. So that means that there's more men than women. I think you got that one the wrong way around, sweetheart.
therefore, or is it, hang on, the other way around? But anyway, it's
Or is it the other way around? I don't know. I'm not very good at maths, but I'm going to talk about fucking statistics. Moron.
I've just done that incorrectly, I
So
think.
you're
but-
the expert.
Yeah, I know. I just lost that. I
Which
know.
way we go?
No,
So it's 100%
100% of women.
Whatever. It says 100% of women. 100% of women to 98.5 men?
We confirm the number of women across the country outweighs
Man.
the number of men. This is serious.
This is it's a bit painful.
It's 86 to 100. So the numbers
Some areas
are
it's
very,
86
very
to 100.
real. And that's only
And yes, you're right. The numbers are real. In some areas there are 86 men to 100 women. Just go and watch my video, The Sydney Man Drought, for all the details on that and the suburbs in which there is this deficit. But if there's 98.5 men for every 100 women, first of all, why the fuck is this a huge issue? It's like 1.5%. Okay? Secondly, if it's 86 men to 100 women in some areas, and the average in Australia is 98.5 men for every 100 women, then there must be some areas in which there's heaps more men than women. But you don't want to talk about that, do you?
in little pockets around Australia, and we're talking all around Australia here. So there are definite demographics, but I think more than anything, there is more of a perception out there that there really is a shortage of men, and there are a number of reasons for that. A lot of it to do
Like
with
things like this. I was talking about like this, saying there's a shortage of men.
exactly. Well, that's right. That's the kind of thing that does add to it. You're right, and that's why I want to talk about it, because I think the perception is really causing women to feel quite upset that they can't find the right man, but there are so many reasons for it.
So who's at fault here? Are the women?
Wait, it's causing women to not be able to find the right man. Hear those words she just said.
Women being too fussy? Are they being too picky? Or are the men being too standoffish and not committing?
Well, I knew I was going to get asked that.
So are the women being too fussy, or are the men not committing and being too standoffish? Now, what you'll notice is that she only addresses one of those points, and I think you already know which point it is that she's going to address. Check this out.
Question.
Yes.
I don't think it is that. I don't think it is just, we can't just sort of say, oh, women are being too fussy, because I believe everybody has a
You can't say women are being too fussy, even if they are. Okay.
right to be able to search for the right person.
Search for the right
And so
person.
in that, it's not
The right person being the rich Chad, the 666, the 6 foot tall, the 6-figure income, and the 6-inch or longer cock with the $60,000 or higher car.
actually about being fussy. I think very much we grew up in decades gone by where you got married fairly young, you know, had children fairly young. Some people even up until, you know, by 25 had created a family. Whereas nowadays we're doing it over a whole over decades, and so it's
Doing it over
time.
decades.
And so for some women, the biological clock's ticking, and so they would like to find a man to get on with having a family. But for men, they've got a whole lot more time, so it's causing a lot of disconnect.
You know what? You're right. You're right. Men do have a whole lot more time, and women don't have as much time. Accept it. Work within the framework of reality and biology, right? We see so much bullshit in the media about this. And I'm going to get on with this article. And for those of you guys who are seeing this for the first time and haven't yet checked out my Sydney Man Drought video, go and check it out. The Sydney Man Drought by Sydney MGTOW, your boy over here with a ginger beard. And in case you're wondering, this is what masculinity looks like. All right. Birth of a solo era. Oh boy, this is going to get good. And how tiny tasks can get heavy, and how this lady can also get heavy. Summerhill mum Susan Mosey, 38, and she was the one, by the way, in the video I showed you before, single mother by choice 9 weeks ago when she gave birth to her stupidly named son, Fox. I didn't want to compromise and end up with someone for the sake of wanting to have kids, so I decided to do it on my own. Ms. Mosey. Oh, there we go with the Ms. They don't want people to call them out as unmarried by saying Miss, but they're also not a Mrs. Ms. Mosey, who found a sperm donor through IVF Australia, said being a single mum allowed her to give her undivided attention to her son. However, she conceded. Managing a newborn made everyday tasks difficult. Well, imagine my shock that everyday tasks might be made more difficult by having to care for a dependent child, especially when there's more than one person needed to raise that child and you're choosing to raise it with one for narcissistic reasons. However, getting petrol is hard because you have to get out of the car and then get the baby out, she said. Go to BP, they've got BP Me, you can pay for your petrol in your car. What are you whinging about? Find solutions instead of complaining. I'm always surprised at how long it can take to get out of the house. The first time we left, it took about half an hour just to walk around the block. Well, I don't know about you, but it doesn't take me half an hour to walk around the block. Maybe if I was a fat whale, but I'm not. Now, there's also this chick here, right? Family's love, and a mum's struggle. Bondi mum Alex Martin, 40, was overwhelmed with support after deciding to go through Demeter Fertility to have her daughter Holly. Well, at least that's not a stupid name. Thank God for that. I told them, her family, I was thinking of having a baby by myself, not really having thought about it properly, and they were just so delighted, she said. Yeah, because they know you're not going to find anyone at 40 because you left it too long. But she said being a single parent with Holly, who is now 1 year old, could be lonely and was not without its struggles. You didn't work this out before you had the kid, and now you're complaining about it? Wow. You're really fit to be a mother with such a short thought train like that you can't even think that far ahead to think, oh, maybe this might be a struggle. Okay, I'm just going to accept it and not complain about it because I know the consequences of my actions. No, they can't get that there's no consequences of their actions. They don't get it. They don't get accountability, responsibility, and consequences. It's just not something that registers. But she said being a single parent with Holly, who is now 1 year old, was not without its could be lonely and was not without its struggles. She said her first experience in an antenatal class was, and I quote, awkward. Why am I not surprised? Let's get into the article, guys, and I have linked the articles and videos that I showed you earlier in the video below in the description for you guys to check out if you wish to do so. More mothers go it alone as New South Wales figures for sole IVF procedures skyrocket. And I know that's backward, guys. I'm sorry YouTube flips me. Don't know what I can do about it, but work with me here. More single women are choosing to have babies without men than ever before, with some IVF clinics reporting 1 in 10 of their female clients are going alone seeking access to donor sperm. Smash that thumbs up, guys, by the way, if you're liking this video. An investigation by the Saturday Telegraph has found a diminishing social stigma attached to single parenting, Sydney's man drought, and less concern among women about finding Mr. Right are driving the surge of sisters doing it by themselves. I actually read that as a surge of writers doing it by themselves. Sorry about that. Clinics across the industry have recorded an increase in unattached single women wanting to become mothers, among the more than 30,000 women who access assisted reproductive technology each year. At Sydney-based Demeter Fertility, 10% of IVF treatment cycles are single women with donor sperm. There were none performed in 2008. At IVF Australia, which had 16 locations across New South Wales, 8% of IVF treatment cycles are single women accessing donor sperm, a figure that has doubled over the last 5 years. Now, guys, stick around to the end of this video because I've got a juicy video to share with you. At IVF Australia, which has 16 locations across Australia, yep, I've done that, Another Sydney-based IVF provider, Genea Fertility, reported 5% of its clients who walk through its doors are single women accessing donor sperm, a figure that has doubled over the last 5 years. And in Victoria, Monash IVF, which describes itself as the country's most established IVF clinic and fertility program, reported the number of single women taking up IVF services was growing 15% each year. Fertility Society of Australia President Michael Chapman said an estimated 600 to 800 women each year in Australia accessed donor sperm as either a single person or gay couple, a figure that has doubled over the past 5 years. Well, I can feel the heat. It's getting a bit warm in here, so I'm going to drop the beanie and go raw for you guys. While there is no official breakdown of the categories, a study in 2012 found the Monash Clinic performed almost 3 times as many IVF treatments for single women as it did for lesbians. Over the past 3 years, Monash IVF has also seen the number of social egg freezing cases more than double as women become more educated about their long-term fertility options. Mr. Chapman said the spike in single women choosing to become mums could be attributed to social change. You mangina. That has occurred in recent years with women copying less blame for sole parenting. Finding Mr. Right has also become more difficult. Maybe women are becoming more choosy or men are not committing themselves in ways they did in the past. Well, there's reasons for the second one, but the first one, well, yes, women are becoming more choosy. Let me give you a spoiler alert on that one. Social analyst David Chalk said more women were going it alone due to a decline in the moral influence of organized religion and a greater acceptance of kids in families where the mum is not married. While organized religion has faded in the country, so too have the morals dictated by it. And as a consequence, we're far more relaxed about anything to do with sex, morality, or marriage than we have been in the past, he said. Mr. Chalk said that an Australia Scan survey of 2,000 adults that measured support for single women accessing IVF in 2001 showed 68% were against it. Interesting. However, 2008 figures shows this has flipped and 52% were now in favor. Yeah, that's because we got more manginas and simps in these surveys. He said single women who become mothers without a male partner were now emerging as a demographic group in their own right. It is a demographic group. How large it is, I suspect, might be an asterisk in most surveys, but it really is a demographic. When you look at the driving forces behind it, the signs are growing. North Sydney mum Amanda went through IVF as a single woman to have daughters Zali, 5, and Quinn, 2. She agrees attitudes have changed. I think there's less stigma around single parenting, so people aren't expected now to get married to have a family. I'm almost done and up to this juicy video I got for you guys, she said. Let me rephrase that. I think there's less stigma around single parenting, so people now aren't expected to get married to have a family, she said. And I'd imagine it sounded something like that. Single women have had their rights to access IVF confirmed in a 2002 High Court case. Oh, that was a bad idea. Fertility services now routinely provide a dossier on the physical and emotional characteristics of potential sperm donors as they cater to an increasing number of single women. Health Department figures show that in 2017, Medicare is Australia's social welfare scheme, I guess, for health, right? So they basically pay for procedures and provide a lot of funding for people to go to the doctor and have operations and whatnot on the public purse. All right, so Health Department figures showed in 2017 Medicare funded a total of 14,118 IVF cycles. So that means that almost over 14,000 IVF cycles in New South Wales alone have been funded by the taxpayer, and they're not cheap. A spokesperson for Health, Minister Greg Hunt, said, the independent MBS task force led by medical experts is currently reviewing the assisted reproductive technology Medicare items and will present recommendations to the government. Well, I hope those recommendations include recommending that single mothers not be allowed to undergo IVF without a partner to support their child. At least, emotionally, because kids need mother and father, and they also need to fix those laws that are bullshit biased against men. Now, I came across, when I searched for my own video to make sure it was made re-visible after I had to appeal the YouTube decision to make it a hidden video. And I got that decision overturned. I appealed successfully, and I went to search for Sydney man drought, and I came across a second video. It says, Sydney, you're having a man drought. Now, this was done 2 years ago and it has 9,000 views. I streamed my Sydney man drought video 7 months ago and I have 130,000 views. So go check it out if you haven't already. I'm going to play this for you and I'm sorry if it buffers a bit, but this is unbelievable. In fact, let me just skip to the good bit.
Sticky Dad. Sydney,
Where are we?
you were going through a man.
Here we go. Listen carefully.
Find single guys in Sydney.
Yes, because majority of Sydney is populated by women. There's not many rich guys around, not many men around.
Wait. Not many rich men. Not many men around. Not many rich guys. I mean, not many men. So you're equating men to rich, hot guys that meet the 666 rule. You know that's the minority, ladies. Better start getting used to that reality. And talking about all this bullshit, going through.
Watching the magnitude of people pass, there was definitely a lot more women than men. For every 10th person that passed me, only one would be male. And these statistics still shock me. How could there be so little males so close to the city? For this, I decided to branch out and see what actual...
Do you know why? Because all of the males that live in Balmain are off working. They're not sitting in cafes and walking down the street at 2 p.m. on a freaking Monday afternoon. They're at work, making money, making shit happen because they have the penis, just like you guys do, right? And these women are sitting at cafes, like strolling along with their baby, going for a walk with their dog. Oh, it's a beautiful day in Sydney. Yeah, you know why? You know why it's beautiful? Because you don't have to do shit. We're the ones working, right? And you wonder why there's 3 of you to every one of us. Ridiculous. Just stupid. Anyway, guys, I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who joined in this video. I haven't seen all of the people that have commented. I've been just like ripping this one out. If you guys do want to donate to me, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/SydneyMGTOW. Or even if you see an ad on one of my videos and it's like a 15-second video, would really appreciate it if you could watch the whole thing instead of skipping it. It does help me out. It does help me to cover some of the costs of running this channel, which include data, buying newspapers, and all of this sort of stuff. Now, I noticed someone made a donation in the chat box here. I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, I really, really appreciate that generous donation of around about Ralph Wiggum, my man. Oh, my boy. Thank you so much, Ralph Wiggum. $5 US. I appreciate that, man. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce for now. If you love this video, share it with other people you know that need to hear these red pills, that need to hear the truth about biological reality, and that need to see what is going to happen to them if they don't get stuck into it in their 20s and find themselves a decent man and stop being so damn picky. All right, man, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for joining in. Smash that thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.